Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks, yeah!
I didn't know who Andrew Tate was until I got the news of his cancellation. Of course, for research on this video, I watched all the best content I could about him, including these videos. What I want to write about today is his advice for getting women. Now, there's this thing called an incel, or involuntary celibate. Google uses the Oxford English Dictionary, and I recommend staying away from the online Merriam-Webster's dictionary. They are caught red-handed updating definitions in real time based on current events. What you want in a dictionary is thoughtful prose, not woke ideology. I recommend a hard copy in your home, even better if it was published in the 20th century. Now, if you look up the definition of celibate, it says, noun, a person who abstains from marriage and sexual relations. First off, the word incel does not make sense because if you are a celibate, it's a decision. But yeah, okay, I get it. A person who identifies as an incel is involuntary so because he can't get a girl and it's not his fault. But I refuse to believe there's an actual community that centers on not getting laid. Why would you identify with that? I'm not saying there aren't some men who feel this way, but this is why I'm here to help. First, some background. I'm trying to give you some authenticity here. I'm not a playa, so my advice, you can think of me as a family man. Okay, in a nutshell, Andrew Tate says you should strive to be a top G, and with that attitude, make your way to the top, and then women will want to be with you. And there's some truth to that. It can work if you make it to the 1%. But you know how math works, it means there will always be 99% of you that don't make it. Sorry. Use probabilities to your favor. Women are people too, and what do most people want? I'm glad you asked. After going through my divorce, I came across this book by Gary Chapman, a pastor, who wrote the book, The 5 Languages of Love, The Secret to Love That Lasts. It's not science, but not all knowledge has to come from peer-reviewed papers. Even so, science is under attack, but that will be covered in another video. Chapman asserts there are 5 love languages, and each human individual expresses love and communicates love primarily in one of these 5 modes. They are receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, and acts of service. I'll go through each of these, but the other thing I stress is that when you're seeking a partner, your goal should be a lifelong commitment and procreation. And for stability, you should seek out someone from your own religion. If you're not religious, well, I really don't know what to tell you. This advice should work in the short term regardless. Receiving gifts. A woman with this language wants to receive gifts. It does not necessarily mean gifts you paid for, but thoughtful gifts. If you find a girl of this category, don't ever stop with the gifts or you'll lose her. Quality time. This type of person requires your attention. You have to focus on her, plan events, and do not divert your time to other endeavors. Words of affirmation. This type of person requires tons of verbal support. You look great. You are doing such a good job. Physical touch. Okay, this is self-explanatory, but a person who speaks this language of physical touch will require a lot of hand-holding, back scratching, and probably sex. Hope you can keep up. Acts of service. Be prepared to always take out the garbage, help with the laundry, do things that help her out. So the trick is figuring out which language your future girl is centered on. The book gives some advice, and I won't go into it here, just use your brain. And it probably makes sense to figure out your own love language, for knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So your goal should not be to get your wick wet, but generally to find a woman you can spend the rest of your life with. Believe me, she wants the same thing. She wants companionship. You can't ignore the biology. There is a drive to reproduce, even if not outwardly acknowledged. And you'll have to get over the fear of talking to women. Even Laserpig agrees.
Go outside, get laid. For fuck's sake, I'm a goblin boy neckbeard. I got laid. You can too. You just shower and talk about what she's interested in and listen when she explains something and tell her you'd love to hear more. It's not that hard.
And it's indeed a numbers game. You have to cast the rod if you expect to catch some fish. I want to make one other observation on this topic. Listen to this clip here of Andrew Tate.
Sex in and of itself is boring. Any man who sits and says that sex is great or sex is fun just clearly hasn't had enough sex, because sex is boring. Sex is a chore.
Why would you take advice from someone who thinks sex is a chore or work? Now, I'm only speaking from the male hetero perspective, and this is only me talking, but sex and climax has to be the best feeling experience this world has to offer a man. Your choices here are hire a prostitute, which I do not condone nor have experience with, or find a woman you love to do it with. Trust me, she'll want to do it as much as you, if not more.
Let's have sex.
Wait a second, Peg. Didn't we do it last month?
So in conclusion, don't listen to Andrew Tate if you want a girlfriend. Use some smarts to discover her love language, protect and provide for her needs, and you'll be fine. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, because for real, no one takes off until they get put into the algorithm. And word of mouth is still a thing. Until next time, brain out.
Take me on a 30-second trip to the moon.
Damn, it's Mom's birthday.